G'day, good evening, thanks for listening. This is an agricultural, horticultural gardening show focusing on plant science, soil science and microbiology. And the information is for educational and scientific purposes. It's fact-checked. And any of the websites or papers that have been discussed will be put in the description below. And today is week 3 of the principles of seed technology, going through stuff about a seed. It's the university course I did a few years back on week 3. So there's 1 week to go because actually I'll start talking about it at 2 minutes. So I'll give it, if you're watching this back, fast forward until you see some slides, the screen change, and that's when the sort of show will start. So I'm going to give it another 70 seconds for folk to arrive. Seems to be this, it doesn't happen instantaneously. And if you hear my goat in the background, it's my miniature goat, and it's so funny. She's in heat at the moment, so she's bleating out to other goats. And the neighbours' sheep are walking past, and they're talking back to her, and it's just a big bleat fest. It's quite funny. It's good fun. All right, 30 seconds to go. And I'll start and share the slides on week 3, which is, it's going to be good. I hope you're enjoying this seed stuff too. There's 4 concentrating weeks on it, because then I should be talking about it afterwards. 10 seconds to go, 5 seconds now. 3, 2, 1, ding. Now get out. No. This is its week 3 of a week 8 course, and it's from week 4 on, it goes into specialized seeds for different species. So we've got 1 week left of the scientific or the educational side of things. So this is week 3, which is pretty cool too. It's on the quality. No. Hang on, I just skimmed over it earlier. Let's have a look. There's no one really said anything. So I'll just show you. We'll get started straight into it. No one wants to hear me. Everyone wants to see slides. Week 3. And I was thinking too, if I do go through them fast or whatever, if there's no real questions or comments, there's these facts and questions and some other interesting things that are related to this course that I can also pull up, some PDFs. Oh, mind you, there's a stack of slides. Righto. Hang on, that's the screen. I don't like that screen. That one. Yay. So here we go. The various factors affecting quality seed production. That's what this week 3 is on. Factors affecting the quality of seed. So there's 3 things, I reckon. So the climatic factors, ecological factors, that is edaphic and climatic factors. Okay, I've just elaborated a bit with some weird words. Number 2, production technology, how you produce it. And number 3 is post-harvest techniques, practices, operations, how you get to where you. So here's an example of some blackening of seed due to black mold. So this is could be happening at any stage. So it just wasn't taking care of some gumby or sorghum seed. And here's another example of some off-coloured seed that has low germination and storability. So the climatic factors. So some things are like adaptability, the wind, temperature, climatic factors. I like the temperature because that's pretty relevant to a lot of things. So what does the temperature say? If you want to read the rest of this slide, you can pause it now. Ding. I'm going to read a bit of temperature. Next one's temperature plays a major role in seed production. Optimum temperature is required from the day of harvest. right up until post-harvest. Yeah. Too high temperature causes desiccation of pollen, resulting in poor seed set and quality. A high temperature adversely affects seed production in some various different types due to the constant drying of the flowers, shedding into post-harvest. High temperatures and strong winds cause desiccation, drying out of pollen grains, and drying of the stigma, which result in a poor seed set and seed quality. Overwintering or chilling or vernalization, which is needed for some species in order to shift from vegetative to reproductive phase, which helps in the quality of seed production. That's a vernalization. I suppose it is temperature related. Humidity is another factor. Too high humidity causes mold. And what's that? Well, it's above 90. Well, above 90 bacteria love that and thrive. So you're asking for troubles if it's always above that. You're in the clouds or the fog all the time. Down the bottom, slightly warm, dry climate is suitable for the production of disease-free seed. Rainfall also affects it, which could be humidity related too, but putting too much, because the plant gets oxygen from around its roots, it's 10,000 times slower to get it through the water, so that can affect it through its breathing cycle, respiration. The role of seed crop management in quality seed production. So in these factors include seed source, isolation, time of planting, seed rate, method of planting, depth of sowing irrigation, fertilizer application, nutritional factors, roguing of weeds, pest and disease control. So it's all things that come into that affect the quality seed production. So there's a lot to go on with. So they'll break down every one of those into different headings, like establishing seed source. I want to make sure it's a very good source to start with. If you're going to become a breeder, you want to have the best primo seeds to start with, because from that day on, you can only possibly get the best out of your genetic potential. So if you've got really poor genetics, you can only possibly get the best out of those poor, weak seeds. Isolation. Protect the seed crop from all sources of contamination. Yes. Next one. Time of planting and seed rate. Well, the seed rate's important for spacing, and the time of planting, you've got to plant it for the temperatures and the rains. So if you've got like I always look out for a lot of rain. So if I've got a big rain session coming up, might be over a day or even as just a big downpour, I'll try and get the land prepared for that. So for seeds, if I'm making the seeds, I'll make sure I harvest before the big rains come, because it's only asking for problems. I'm struggling. So harvesting and post-harvest. So harvesting and threshing, that's how you get the seeds out. Drying and grading, very, very important step for the drying and grading. Artificial drying is done by blowing air at 70 F or 30 Celsius, but never exceeding 110 F or 40 Celsius. So you blow that across them, and then it gets rid of all of the other materials that isn't a seed. The heavy stuff will fall down, the seeds will hopefully go in the middle, and then the lighter stuff will go over the top. Another thing, seed treatment. So what's seed treatment? Well, seed treatment is, before you put them in, you might want to inoculate them with some sort of soak with fungicide or pesticide or something, some biopesticides, biofungicides, something that's even biofertilizer. Nanotechnology has brought in some other interesting soaks that you can also do, but that's what soaking is with seed treatment. Movement and storage. Well, storage is massive. If it's stored too hot, it'll perish. Those little embryos inside of the seeds will not like it. So to slow everything down, that's what it said, talked about last week's one was on storage. Bottom back of the fridge, Tupperware container with dry rice. Mechanism of control. So that's for certification more so. There's a lot of slides here. How to maintain genetic purity. In any seed production plot, the genetic purity has to be maintained. So these things can be done, like the presence of recessive genes in heterozygous condition at the time of release of the varieties. Volunteer plants arising, look out for them, mechanical mixtures. You want to read this again? Oh, look at this bottom point. In addition to these factors, other heritable variations due to recombinations and polyploidism may take place in varieties due to seed production, which can be affected by periodically selection during maintenance of seed stock. So you can get that. That's what Mother Nature does when she stresses out, goes through extreme times. She might double sets of chromosomes in it. So you'll get the polyploids, tetraploids will form more so, because they'll be doubling. You won't get anyway, you might get triploids, but the polyploidism happens. So there's something else you can look out for once they're under a lot of stress. It's pretty cool. Genetic purity maintenance, okay. Roguing, so the removal of off-type plants, all the weeds, all the stuff that you don't want, anything like that. Got to do that before seed sets or before they get too big and the roots take over, either one. A handy thing is to walk around with your whippersnipper or your line trimmer. That's what I do. Just walk around, zip off the top, because you're growing all the stuff in your area for green leaf manure, green manure anyway. So it's useful, but just you don't want it to reproduce. So you rogue them all out. Field inspections, well, for your seeds, it should be, I used to do it every second, third day just to keep up on it. You got to maintain when the optimum time is. Ecological factors, there's many of them. Environment, temperature, day length, light, wind, rainfall, dew, frost, humidity. Some climatic factors. Many factors for consideration in selection of agroclimatic conditions. The crop variety grown. The regions. Yeah, you've got the regency with high rainfall, humidity, extreme temperatures are not suitable for seed production. You've got to make sure that what you're producing is in the right area, because seeds grow in different areas, so you can't just grow whatever you want. Next one, I'm skimming. There's a lot of slides here, so it'll get me a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. Okay, next. So some other changes. High humidity at maturation leads to malted seeds or lesser physiological quality in peas. Okay, so it's starting to break down little varieties. Endophytic factors, like in the soil, like what it does for the soil. Can be problems in saline soil, acidic soil, and are avoided for seed production. Or you can try and develop new seeds for that type of conditions, which is more so, because I'm in the plant science, that's more so what I like. So you'd be planting them in those conditions, letting them go to seed, and then replanting them and growing them again, doing it a few times. Before you know it, you've got some halophytes or saline resistant, salt resistant varieties. So that's what I do with mine. The first crop, you'll replant. You won't eat or anything like that, or use, just replant, so it'll get used to your conditions where you're growing. I should stop this to see if there's any. Say hello. Hey, Sunshine RB says good morning. Good morning, Sunshine RB. rain. My voice hurts again. It's real dry. I got the heater on. It's cold. So I've had that for a bit. And it's blooming dry. So you might have to do more reading. This one there, but the information is extremely useful. Just brings to your attention stuff you might not have thought of, that's all. I've had a drink. Because I should be reading all of this. All of this is very, very applicable, but it's hard for me to skim, so you'll have to pause it. So the edaphytic factors are in the soil. The biotic factors are the biology, things that move, and they're also important for seed production. Insect activity, disease, putting beneficials back into your seeds, your epiphytes, so you can so on germination they'll germinate faster. You might want to use endophytes that have gibberellic acid, so it actually helps. Role of quality of seed set, like the seed source, isolation, time of planting, seed rate, method of planting, depth of irrigation has already been read, frustrates me. Method of plantings, time and sowing, okay. Fertilizer application, I only support the NPK use in organics, so you can get it out of organics, not out of, or you can get a bottle, but you make your own. Fertilizers, nutritional factors. There's some nanotechnology you can soak your seeds in. Nutritional factors. I'm not going to read all that. There are things you've got to take into account. If you've got a heavy dominance of potassium, for instance, and your soil might be low in potassium, things to consider. Roguing, I've already gone through that. But that breaks it down a bit further. Disease and pest control, leaf curl virus and yellow vein mosaic infestation. Here's some questions we can go through. Very good. Some more. Quite species related, these ones. It's just going to get on the next few after week 5 to week 8. It gets very species specific, which is what I probably won't even go through then. Oh, I'm just sore. So this is a bit of reading. Variation, deterioration, maintenance of genetic purity, and seed production. This is just how to quick genetic principles have been taken care of with seed multiplication. Because of genetic deterioration, if you do a lot of inbreeding, you can't possibly get improvements of your genetics. So that's something to consider. That's why people do a lot of crossing with parents and back crossing with other parents and stuff like that. But that's because you get genetic deterioration if you inbreed too much. Development varieties with different soil fertility, climatic periods, and elevation for several consecutive generations. Okay. chemical mixtures. If more than one variety is sown, same seed drill. Volunteer plants. Mutations. Seed shape. Mutations can be used to your advantage if you're into breeding and plant science, but if you're into field production, you don't want mutations one bit. You want it all to be homozygotic and everything to be exactly the same. Natural crossing. Natural crossing, yeah, it has several advantages. That's I can't go into detail there because that's just math. I just finished a crop breeding course, 12-week uni crop breeding course. So I could spend an hour talking on that. I don't want to. My voice hurts. Minor genetic variations. Pure breeder seed is self-pollinated, care in maintaining nucleus, and breeder seed cross-pollinated. So different ways that you can get the job done still. Selective influences of pest and disease, mega important. So if you're into seed breeding, you'll be interested in doing this course, and you will have read all the slides. And this is one big part, your selection. It's just everything, because the morphogenic expressions that you get can tell you heaps and heaps. You don't have to go into molecular. So the marker-assisted breeding, marker-assisted selection is mega important. Techniques of the plant breeder. Well, there's just a lot of that. If people are interested, I might go through the plant crop breeding course I just did, which goes through a lot of this. Maintaining genetic purity. Well, that's self-explanatory. You want that to be maintained. You don't want any other plants in there, diseases, pests, things that can grow faster, take up space and time, all sorts. The only things you might want is for you to choose your different crops for traps that are going to trap insects and stuff like that. Causes and occurrence of off-types. Cautious measures. What now? Genetic purity maintenance, adoption of crop. Following measures have to be suggested. Safeguard of genetic purity. Sorry. Seed certification, genetic purity of seed is assessed if the certification agency has approved the seed. Okay, very good. Post-harvest operations, threshing. Every stage of is so important to protect the seed. You want to make sure you get the best seed possible. There's some examples on how they do it. You can see it's very old school, but still get the job done. Love learning this way, because that way you can do it all yourself. You don't have to buy anything. Some examples of some seed sorting. Different purity percentages of like the breeder seed, foundation seed, hybrid seed. Well, that's it. All right. I hope that was really good help. Aussie Jeffro says, thanks for the day, Aussie CC. Appreciate the effort you make for us. Have a good weekend. Good on you, Aussie Jeffro. Thanks for your nice words, mate. You know, I try hard. To be honest, it's anyway. I'm glad to see people are enjoying it. I like feedback. It keeps me going. Because I'll tell you what, the numbers don't keep me going. Genetic Friendly Farm says, much appreciated for your efforts, Aussie. Thank you for your nice words, Genetic Memory Farms. Yes, it's hard sometimes, just being on myself. Talk a lot. Love the goats, yeah. You should see the poor little. You'd love them if you. I haven't posted any on this channel. But yeah, the goats are pretty fun. Been outside already playing with them already this morning. If anybody's got a bit of space, more than a few acres, dead set, consider miniature goats. Get ones, they have to be raised on the bottle, and the reason being because they'll come up to you like dogs and jump on you and be your best friend, follow you around, want to come inside, all sorts. It's just excellent. I really, they're just brilliant. One of the best investments I've made in some time. But you have to get two as well for your goats. Anyway, this is an agricultural show, I suppose, but yeah, it's just a way for dealing with stress these days, because there's a lot of it. Well, that's it. No questions for this episode this week. I'm happy to see that. Next week we'll be wrapping up the soil science, and after that I'm going to go into microbes in agriculture. In my last course, what was it? Microbial biotechnology. I got 85% in that overall, by the way. 85% out of 1,400 uni students. Pretty blooming good. But we'll go through this week 9, and that is so there's 5 lectures in that. So it might even take 5 weeks to go over it. But course was written last year, so it's pretty up to date. I really enjoyed it. Oh, Genetic Memory Farm says that could be a great source of channel content. Put a camera on them and see what they see. Oh yeah, I got 2 YouTube channels. I don't tell anybody about the other one because I don't want any problems. But that's where I do a lot of that is on the other one. Every 3 days I post a video. Anyway, I'm not trying to talk up the other channel. Aussie Jeffro, awesome CC. Thanks, Aussie Jeffro. Good on you, mate. GMF says, congratulations. Thanks for your nice words, people. I really appreciate that. GMF says, check out Pygmy Harbour Farm. They do well with goat content. Actually, I got a Nigerian pygmy goat. She's awesome. I'm gonna breed her probably next year. Yeah, they're good fun. Mine are in extremely good health. They're just you can't complain. Some of them live up to 20 years old. Mine are only 3 and 4 years old, so it's pretty cool. You can breed them up to 8 years old. So I've got a few years left yet. But yeah, they're pretty. Shall I show you? See if I can pull up a quick vid just for those. Now I can do this. I'll just give you a quick demo. Oh yeah, here you go. All right, you lucky people. If I do this, back to this channel. Can I share? Yeah, I should be able to do this. I know you can't see anything, but I'm just trying to pull up some content of the goats, which was just extremely funny. That was ages ago. Oh no. Is there a playlist? Yes, there is. Miniature goats. Here we go. There's 27 under the miniature goats holding mackerel. No, on to the videos, please. It was funny. I just kept, here we go, crazy fun 9 minutes. How do I play that? They play games with each other. How can I bring this up all right? No, stop. Back. Oh, gee whiz. here. Here we go. I'll just go back and share a screen. Hey, Lene. G'day, Lene. Says, cheers, Ulysses. Hope you and your goats are doing well. Yes, I am. I'm just about to show a goat video for GMF. As you can hear, Tilly, she's on heat. She's calling out the neighbour goats. Sharing. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is it. So there's one there. That's the Nigerian, and there's the one bleating at the moment. This is funny as they're playing with each other. They play a lot of games, and this is just, enjoy. What, you can't? They play a lot of games, and this is just enjoy. They play a lot of games, enjoy. They keep running. They keep... Go, girls, go! They're easily excitable. Here she goes. Yeah, Tilly, go! Go, Tilly! Oh, God, just... They're so beautiful. Oh, quick! I'm drinking. So then. Hey, Tilly. Destroying it. Go. Oh, she's up. What is it? What is it, Tilly? All right, that'll do. I think you've gone it. Some good fun. Some really good fun they are. That one. Oh, and your chooks too. Yeah, they're going all right. Adorable, says GMF. They're super cute. They sure are. They just blimmin' are. I just can't believe the amount of enjoyment I get from them. Love their little hops. Yes, one of them sprints like a normal dog, and then the Nigerian pygmy, she hops like a deer. It's very funny. They're both exactly the same height. To the top of their backs is 2 feet, exactly 60 centimeters. That's thanks, Dozzy Jeffro. Cool as. Yeah, that's what they've got to be a miniature. They've got to measure under that. So if you see any goats, just make sure that if you want to get them, just don't let the people tell you they are. Just measure them yourself, or know up to your knee is 60 centimeters. So when you walk up, they've got to be under your knee, for instance. And yeah, their bodies are the same size as normal goats, but it's just their legs are. Then whole of their leg is 6 inches long, including their knee, from their toes to their hip joint. I love them. Looks like I should nearly be doing lives on that channel. Forget about the agricultural thing. But yeah, for those who are interested, I'll put a link in the description then. because the people who are in chat at the moment are nice people. I just don't want any problems. That's the reason why I haven't ever talked about this account at all. But for those who are interested, and I do post educational stuff on that as well. So if you are interested, I'll put it, there's the link there. Don't go, I don't want that one spoiled, because this channel that I got here, this was spoiled. Of a lot of Australian people got in and just spoiled it. So I just don't want any problems. I just want to help others. I've got some amazing education that is working, because it works. My agricultural studies have proved themselves. So I really want to help people in that sector. I want other people to get great, fantastic results, disease-resistant, weed-resistant, all sorts, massive fruit set, all sorts of everything, because I find it kind of comes naturally. And it's just because I was so interested to start with, the education sunk in. So that's where I really want to help, and that's what this channel's for. The other channel's more so for, I'm going to remove it. So anybody who wants to get that address out, pull it out, because I'm going to remove it. So I don't want any problems, because this channel was going really well until some particular people got in there. Delete comment. There we go. Yeah, so I don't want new things like that. I just want everything to go smoothly. Just because a couple of rotten eggs in the blooming basket, yeah, don't need those rotten eggs around. They need some sulfur bacteria to reduce the sulfur content so they can mellow out. But, oh yeah, we'll just do, GMF says, goat content was potentially be a way more popular than any of our hobbies. But, really? Aussie Jeffro says, cheers, mate, no worries, no stress here. Yeah, I know, you're a good fella. It's just, you know what happened. Actually, probably everyone listening knows what happened. It's just disgusting. I don't want to go there. This is a positive show. GMF says, oh, subscribed. Okay, mate. I hope you enjoy it all. Done. Too easy. I just say, yeah. Press the all button too under it, because it would be nice to get over 1,000. I was thinking about releasing those videos on this channel. So I'm saving all of the soil and plant science type related ones for this channel, because I've got heaps of them. I've got all sorts of compost. I'm up to season 2 in my garlic, my organic garlic. So I got an organic garlic farm. So I've done garlic. So I'm up to season 2, and at the end of next year, I've got some fascinating numbers. I'm not going to talk about them, but everything is going to plan. So that's where I'd like to help other people do the same thing. If they can somehow get the benefits out of their lands, or even rent lands or lease lands, or even acquire lands closely to them. There's many different ways you can get land for free. That's something where I'd like to help people with anyway. But next week, put your stuff in the chat. Yeah, thank you for the nice words from everybody. Put your comments in the chat. Next week we'll be going through. See, why can I talk a lot now? Or if I've got text in front of me, I don't really want to read it and talk. My throat's not even sore anymore. Weird people. I mean weird person, not people. I'm not sharing screen, though. Okay. Because next week will be the wrapping up of the seed technology, I think. And after that, it'll be microbes in agriculture. Let's do some stuff about that. Yes, that's what I think anyway. But it's not really about me for this show. It's about other people too. So I really appreciate other people's feedback and what they want to hear and see too. That was the reason for doing one of these courses, was to show one particular person. So I take everybody's feedback on board and like to make good content out of it. So if you got any, please add it or whack it in, or you know what I'm talking about. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Well, thanks for listening if you're still listening. And I hope to see you next week for the wrapping up of the seed technology. Happy breeding, happy growing, and good health to you all. Bye-bye. See you, buddy. See you, mate.